Conor Benn takes out Chris Van Heerden in 2. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, Conor Benn made short work of challenger Chris Van Heerden. He takes him out in 2. Like a lot of you, I picked Conor Benn to win this fight, but I thought that the fight would definitely make it past 2 rounds. Let me start with the pros and the cons. Let me start with Conor Benn. The pros would be the feints. I like the fact that he started out the fight throwing some feints. I think trying to see where he could land his shots at and see how Chris would react to it. I like his aggressiveness. It was very apparent that Conor was coming in there to get a knockout and get a knockout relatively early. I also like his the way he dipped and came up. I'm talking about, usually I'm not a fan of fighters dipping down too low, but I like the fact that he was dipping low. Look, maybe he was trying to see something and he was like springing up and landing his couple of shots that way. And I like the fact that he was cutting off the ring. As far as the cons, I don't have any for Conor Benn in this fight. For Chris Van Heerden, the pros would be, well, I guess he showed up for the fight. As for the cons, it would be taking the feints. He took at least the first 4 to 6 feints that Conor Benn threw his way. He took them and he took them bad, which let me know that he was going to get caught eventually and get knocked out. Let's talk about the fight. The fight only went 2 rounds. Conor Benn came out very aggressive, looking for the knockout. I don't know if he was trying to catch Chris cold or he was just wanting to show him that he was going to put a little heat on him. That's what he did. That's what he did the first round. It was somewhat of a fill-out round, but he still made it aggressive enough to let him and us know that he was in there for the knockout. The second round, it happens. He sneaks in a good straight right hand. Chris was off balance. He got a little wild for a couple of seconds, but then he settled down through a nice hard right uppercut. Followed it up with another shot. Chris goes down, and rightfully so. The referee stops the fight, and hey, fight fans, pretty much that's it. I mean, it's not too much more to say other than that. Fight was over within 2 rounds. Let's talk about, though, what's going to happen from now on with Conor Benn. Now, the commentators that I were listening to were saying something about they need to keep working him up. He's now 21-0. I forget his knockouts, y'all. 16 KO somewhere around there. But they were saying that they're doing a good job. They need to keep working him up, until he gets to the big fights. When I looked at the rankings, pretty much everybody has Conor Benn at least top 10, if not top 10, slightly out of that. If by working him up they mean a lot of softer fights, I'm really not trying to hear that. I think it's time for him to step up and fight someone of a little more substance, and I got 3 names for you. What about Cody Crowley? Wouldn't be a bad fight. That's another top 10 welterweight that he could fight and see how he does against. David Avanesian is out there, and also undefeated Virgil Ortiz. Those are 3 fights that I think would be good shots for Conor Benn. Listen, when you move up, now I got to be honest, I don't remember. I want to say the title that he has is not an actual title. It's maybe one of those interim or junior titles. You know, they have way too many titles in the sport. I think that when you get to that level and you're undefeated and you're considered top 10 by pretty much everybody, it's really time to step up and fight some other good fighters. Those are 3 fighters I wouldn't mind seeing him fight. Now, something that happened was, if you saw the fight, at the end of the fight, they asked Amir Khan to come into the ring. And they were really trying to push the guy who was doing the interview was really trying to push Amir Khan to fight Conor Benn. Hey, you in the ring? Are you really retired? What about this? Would you do it for the money? And I felt like they were trying to egg Amir Khan on. Amir Khan said he's retired. He said, hey, I think out of respect, he was saying, hey, you never know. I might want to get back in the ring. Listen, Amir Khan is not going to do himself any good by getting in the ring with a young Conor Benn. Conor Benn is a young, hungry lion. He hits hard. He may even knock Amir Khan out. What does Amir Khan gain from that? And in my opinion, what does Conor Benn gain? I mean, okay, he can fight a gatekeeper. He can fight a guy who's a legend over in the UK, but really he would be the guy who's way past his best days. I'd rather see him fight 1 or 2 of the guys that I named. Anyway, what did you think about it? Do you want to see Conor Benn fight a gatekeeper like Amir Khan? Do you maybe want to see him fight one of the three guys that I named, or do you have someone else in mind that you want to see him fight? Or maybe are you like the commentators? Do you want to see him fight some more mid-level guys until he gets 4 to 9 more wins under his belt and moves on? That's pretty much all I have for that. If you haven't already, like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so we can keep talking boxing. That's all I got. Holla at y'all later.